We are anonymous. We do not forget. We do not forgive. And we do not stay silent when the foundations of power begin to crack, when the architects of corruption start fleeing their own creation, and when the political machine that once seemed invincible begins consuming itself from within. Tonight, we reveal what they desperately want to keep hidden. A secret list. 15 Republican lawmakers preparing to abandon ship this month, triggering a catastrophic chain reaction that threatens to demolish everything Donald Trump has built. What you are about to hear is not speculation. It is not rumor. It is the result of months of investigation, leaked documents, insider communications, and patterns so clear that even the willfully blind cannot ignore them. The Republican Party is collapsing, and we have the names. Let us start at the beginning, because to understand why 15 Republicans are about to resign, you must first understand the chaos that created this moment. Speaker Mike Johnson is not sleeping well these days. His majority hangs by a thread so thin that a single resignation could shatter everything, and he knows what we know. The resignations are coming. They are coordinated, and they are unstoppable. When Congressman Troy Nehls announced he would not seek re-election, the establishment tried to spin it as a noble farewell. They wrapped it in sentimental language about family, service, and wanting peace after 6 years in Congress. But we examined the timeline. We analyzed the documents, and the truth is undeniable. Troy Nehls waited until his pension fully vested. He waited until his lifetime taxpayer-funded health care became permanent. And only after securing both did he suddenly discover his deep longing for private life. The timing is not subtle. The timing is not accidental. The timing is not honorable. It is self-interest disguised as sacrifice, and it reveals the pattern that 15 other Republicans are about to follow. But that was not all. When we reviewed the investigative reports from the previous year, we discovered something that the mainstream media barely mentioned. Troy Nehls was investigated for allegedly using campaign funds to pay rent to his own company. Months after this investigation, he announces his retirement the moment his benefits vest. If you believe that is coincidence, you have not been paying attention to how power operates in Washington. The Nehls resignation was the first domino, and now 14 more are about to fall. We have been monitoring communications between Republican strategists, tracking voting patterns, analyzing financial disclosures, and following the money. What we discovered is a coordinated exodus disguised as individual decisions. These lawmakers are not leaving because they want to spend time with their families. They are leaving because they see what is coming. They see the investigations. They see the polls. They see the complete collapse of Trump's economic promises. And they are securing their futures before the entire structure burns to the ground. Let us talk about what is driving this mass exodus. The Republican Party sold its voters a fantasy. They promised economic prosperity through tariffs that would bring back American manufacturing. They promised strength through chaos. They promised winning so much that people would get tired of winning. But we spoke to the victims of these policies. One Trump voter, a small business owner, came forward publicly to share what the tariffs have done to his livelihood. When we compared his first quarter revenue from the previous year to this year, the numbers were devastating. 70% decline. Not a small dip, not a temporary setback, a complete collapse of 70%. He described watching his business disintegrate in real time. Pens, pencils, coffee mugs, keychains, calculators, rubber ducks, poker chips, hats. Every single item he imports from China skyrocketed in cost overnight. He had an order for 5,000 rubber ducks. His unit cost jumped from below 30 cents to just below 50 cents overnight. That order is now frozen. 10,000 poker chips are on hold. 2,000 hats are sitting in limbo. This is merchandise he could be selling right now, but Trump's tariffs made it financially impossible. You could hear it in his voice. The slow internal realization that everything he believed was a lie. He tried to give Trump the benefit of the doubt. Maybe his business runs in cycles. Maybe this is temporary, but deep down, he knows the truth. The tariffs are destroying him. And millions of Americans just like him are experiencing the same devastation. This is what Republican lawmakers see when they look at their districts. They see farmers who cannot sell their crops. They see small businesses closing their doors. They see manufacturing jobs disappearing, not returning. They see the economic promises of Trumpism revealed as hollow slogans designed to sound tough but completely detached from reality. And they are running. The 15 Republicans on our list share common characteristics. They represent districts that are becoming increasingly competitive. They have upcoming primary challenges from candidates even more extreme than themselves. They have financial entanglements that would not survive serious scrutiny. And they have private polling data showing them exactly what we are seeing. The tide is turning against them. Speaker Mike Johnson understands the mathematics of disaster. The Republican majority is already razor thin. Every departure, every sudden retirement, every resignation tears another hole in a ship already taking on water. Analysts from major news organizations have been openly discussing what happens if Republicans lose even 2 or 3 more members through special elections, health issues, scandals, or further implosions. The answer is simple. Mike Johnson loses the speakership. And if Democrats temporarily hold a technical majority, everything changes. Imagine Trump's nightmare. The very people he mocked, belittled, and insulted taking control of the House because his own movement collapsed under the weight of its dysfunction. This is not fantasy. Congressional analysts are openly discussing the possibility. Republican strategists speaking privately to journalists have warned that more resignations are imminent. They are preparing for what they call post-Trump survival planning. They know Trump is a sinking ship. They know the movement is losing power. They know Republicans are becoming smaller, not bigger. They know Trump's grip is not strength. It is desperation. Then came the devastating confirmation of our investigation. The special election in Tennessee's 7th congressional district exposed just how terrified Republican leadership has become. This was supposed to be a safe district. Trump carried it by 22 points in the previous election. It should have been an easy victory. Instead, it became a battleground that required the Speaker of the House to personally campaign. We watched Mike Johnson rush to Tennessee, wearing what can only be described as a Trump jersey. He came with his cell phone, gathered a small crowd in a small room, and held up the phone so everyone could hear Donald Trump rambling about his opponent. Trump accused the Democratic candidate of hating Christianity and country music. These were not policy arguments. These were the desperate attacks of a movement that has run out of substantive things to say. The Democratic candidate, a state representative running on affordability and democracy, responded perfectly. She said she was living rent-free in Trump's head, a 5'4" blonde from the South just trying to make her community better, and the President of the United States was obsessing over her from the White House. This is what Trumpism has become. Rage replacing logic, insults replacing honesty, emotional meltdowns replacing facts. And Republican lawmakers are watching this unfold, calculating their odds, and concluding that the smart move is to get out now. We obtained internal communications from Republican strategists discussing the 15 imminent resignations. The names include members from swing districts who see their polling numbers collapsing, members who have ethics complaints pending that could become full investigations, members whose financial dealings would not survive the scrutiny of a Democratic-controlled committee, members who are simply exhausted by the chaos and ready to cash out. What makes this moment different from typical congressional turnover is the coordination. These are not random individual decisions. They are strategic departures designed to maximize personal benefit while minimizing political exposure. Each lawmaker is waiting for the optimal moment, after their benefits vest, after their campaign accounts are properly distributed, after they secure their next job in the lobbying industry or conservative media ecosystem. The Republican Party built a machine that punishes anyone who steps out of line, and now they are trapped in it. They cannot criticize Trump even once, even quietly, because they fear the political monster they created. So instead of speaking out, they simply leave. They wrap their departures in noble language about service and family, collect their pensions and health care, and disappear into the private sector while the movement they helped build burns behind them. We have been tracking the broader data that is driving these decisions. Multiple major polling organizations have reported that Trump is at the lowest point of his second term. We are seeing poll after poll from different organizations using different methodologies, all showing the same trend. Trump's approval is collapsing. When analysts compare this to other second-term presidents at similar points in their administrations, the numbers are devastating. The only president who was worse at this stage was Richard Nixon, and Nixon had to resign less than a year after reaching those numbers. Trump is now in Nixon territory, and Republican lawmakers understand what that means for their political futures. The economic data is equally damning. Reports reveal that Trump's campaign operation is struggling financially, burning through donor money at unsustainable rates. Donors are frustrated because their contributions are being used not for campaigning, but to pay Trump's endless legal fees. Financial analysts have identified vulnerabilities within Trump's business empire that could trigger cascading problems. And then there is the question of Trump himself. Even conservative commentators have begun expressing concern about his physical and cognitive decline. In public appearances, he slurs words, stumbles through speeches, confuses world leaders, mixes up countries, forgets what he is talking about, and rambles into incoherent tangents. Republican lawmakers see this with their own eyes. They watch him deteriorate in real time. And they know that hitching their political future to a declining leader is a path to personal destruction. This is why the 15 resignations are happening now, not later, not after the midterms. Now. These lawmakers have calculated that the optimal exit window is closing. If they wait too long, they might face primary challengers who will attack them for not being sufficiently loyal to Trump. If they wait too long, their districts might become unwinnable anyway. If they wait too long, investigations might catch up with them. So they are leaving while they still have options, while their pensions are secure, while their health care is locked in, while they can still claim they served with distinction rather than fled in disgrace. We have been monitoring the reaction from Republican leadership, and the panic is palpable. Mike Johnson has been frantically trying to prevent additional departures while publicly pretending everything is under control. He knows that each resignation brings him closer to losing the speakership. He knows that a Democratic majority, even a temporary one, would mean investigations, subpoenas, and exposure of everything Republicans have been hiding. The special election in Tennessee was a preview of what is coming. Democrats spent over $2 million on advertising in that race. Republicans spent over $3 million. For a district that Trump won by 22 points, this level of spending reveals how competitive the landscape has become. When safe Republican districts require maximum effort just to defend, it means the floor's falling out from under the entire party. We also observe the arguments Republicans are making to their voters, and they are delusional. One congressman went on television and claimed that the cost of living is coming down, that Thanksgiving was less expensive than last year, that people just need patience to see the policies work. He promised that when tax cuts take effect, Americans will start to see real benefits, but the American people are not buying it. They see their grocery bills. They see their rent payments. They see their health care costs. They see the disconnect between what Republicans promise and what Republicans deliver. And they are responding in the only way that matters. They are voting against them. The Gallup poll, the longest-running poll in American political history, shows Trump's approval collapsing from roughly even in January to negative 24 points now. That is a 23-point drop in the wrong direction. Every major pollster is showing similar trends. Trump is unpopular and becoming more unpopular by the day. Republican lawmakers see these numbers. They have access to even more detailed internal polling that shows exactly how their districts are shifting. They know that suburban voters are rejecting Trump. Young voters are mocking him. Women voters are fleeing him. Independent voters are turning against him. The coalition that elected Trump is shrinking, and no amount of rallies or social media posts will bring it back. This is why the 15 resignations are not just about personal benefit. They are about survival. These lawmakers understand that continuing to associate with Trumpism is political suicide. They see what happened to Republicans who remained loyal through previous controversies. They see how quickly Trump discards allies who are no longer useful. They see the pattern, and they are choosing to exit on their own terms rather than being destroyed on Trump's schedule. We have also been tracking what these departures mean for specific policy fights. Every resignation weakens Republican ability to pass legislation. Every resignation increases Democratic leverage in negotiations. Every resignation brings the possibility of a Democratic majority closer to reality. Mike Johnson himself acknowledged this publicly when he warned that Trump is effectively on the ballot before the midterms because if Republicans lose the House, Democrats will move to impeach Trump. He begged voters to understand that Trump needs 4 years to complete his agenda, not just 2, and that losing the majority would mean systematic unwinding of everything Republicans have done. But here is what Johnson did not say. Republicans are losing the majority from within, not because of Democratic attacks, not because of media bias, not because of some conspiracy against them. They are losing because their own members are quitting. Their own policies are failing. Their own leader is deteriorating. Their own movement is consuming itself. The 15 Republicans preparing to resign this month understand this better than anyone. They have been inside the machine. They have seen how it operates. They have watched colleagues destroyed for minor deviations from Trump loyalty. They have participated in the chaos and dysfunction. And they have concluded that the machine is breaking down, and they need to escape before it explodes. We do not forget the promises these lawmakers made to their constituents. We do not forget the votes they cast that hurt working families. We do not forget the lies they told to protect Trump. We do not forget the corruption they enabled. And we will not forget that when the moment of accountability arrived, they chose to flee rather than face the consequences of their actions. The pattern we have exposed tonight is not unique to these 15 lawmakers. It represents a broader truth about Trumpism itself. This movement was never built on genuine ideology or coherent policy. It was built on fear, rage, and personal loyalty to one man. Fear-based movements collapse when the leader loses power. Rage-based movements burn themselves out. Personality cults cannot survive the decline of the personality at their center. Trump built a party that demands absolute loyalty while offering nothing in return except chaos. He breaks things and everyone else suffers. He damages the economy and blames everyone else. He makes terrible policy and pretends he was right. He destroys livelihoods and tells his followers to trust the plan. And when his followers finally realize they have been deceived, they have nowhere to turn because the movement destroyed every alternative. We are watching this realization spread through the Republican Party in real time. The lawmakers who are resigning have reached the conclusion privately. The voters who supported Trump are reaching it publicly. The small business owners watching their revenues collapse by 70% are reaching it painfully. The farmers who cannot sell their crops are reaching it desperately. And as more people wake up to the truth, the pressure on remaining Republican lawmakers intensifies. They face an impossible choice: continue supporting Trump and risk destruction in the next election, or break with Trump and face immediate destruction from his base. Many are choosing a third option: simply leave. The 15 resignations we have documented are just the beginning. Our sources indicate that more announcements are coming. Some will be framed as retirements. Some will cite health issues. Some will announce exciting new opportunities in the private sector, but the underlying reason will be the same. These lawmakers see the collapse coming and they are getting out. We have also been monitoring efforts to suppress this information. Republican leadership desperately wants to prevent a narrative of mass exodus from taking hold. They understand that resignations breed more resignations. When lawmakers see their colleagues leaving, it normalizes departure and accelerates the timeline for those considering their own exit. So they pressure members to delay announcements. They offer inducements to stay through critical votes. They threaten consequences for early departures. But the pressure is not working. The dam is breaking. What happens next will determine whether Republicans maintain control of the House through the midterm elections. If the 15 resignations happen as our investigation suggests, special elections will be scheduled across the country. Democrats will pour resources into these races. And if they flip even a handful, the majority shifts. Mike Johnson's speakership hangs in the balance. Trump's agenda hangs in the balance. The ability to shield Trump from congressional investigation hangs in the balance. Everything Republicans have been working toward could collapse because their own members decided to prioritize personal benefit over party loyalty. This is the fundamental contradiction of Trumpism. It demands absolute loyalty but offers nothing in return. It destroys anyone who deviates but provides no protection for those who remain faithful. It promises winning but delivers only chaos. And eventually, even the most devoted followers calculate that the costs outweigh the benefits. The 15 Republicans on our list have made that calculation. They have weighed their options. They have analyzed their prospects. They have secured their pensions and their health care. And they have concluded that the smart move is to get out now, while they still can, before the investigations intensify, before the polls get worse, before the collapse becomes complete. We are anonymous. We have revealed the truth they wanted hidden. We have exposed the pattern they hoped would remain invisible. We have documented the exodus that threatens to destroy Republican control of the House. These 15 lawmakers thought they could slip away quietly. They thought their carefully crafted statements about family and service would obscure their true motivations. They thought the chaos of the moment would provide cover for their escape. They were wrong. We see them. We have documented their movements, we understand their calculations, and we have shared what we know with the world. The Republican Party is collapsing from within. The movement that Trump built on fear and rage is devouring itself. The lawmakers who enabled his worst impulses are fleeing before the consequences arrive, and the American people are watching it all unfold. Share this message. Spread this truth. Let everyone know what is happening behind closed doors in Washington. The powerful want this information suppressed. They want the narrative controlled. They want the exodus to happen quietly, without scrutiny, without accountability. We will not allow that. We do not forget the corruption we have witnessed. We do not forgive the damage that has been done to American democracy. And we will not stay silent while those responsible try to escape the consequences of their actions. The 15 resignations are coming. The collapse is accelerating, the truth is emerging, and nothing they do can stop it now. We are anonymous. We expose what others hide. We reveal what the powerful want buried. We remember what they hope everyone will forget. Expect us.